Alrighty, well, hello. Thank you for clicking onto this podcast. If you've clicked this, I guess that means you're wondering what the heck this podcast is about, because mindfulness with Christ does sound a little, I don't know, vague, mayhaps. So, anyways, I am the host, who shall remain nameless. But I'm a person who has experienced my own struggles with mental health. I've had them throughout my whole life. In different seasons, they hit in different ways. If you are someone, for instance, who experiences anxiety, you may have come to the realization that it can morph. You might get over one form of anxiety and then it kind of shapeshifts into some other crazy doodad, and then you're dealing with that. So anyways, I'm a person who has dealt with anxiety in my life. As I've said, OCD, intrusive thoughts, bouts of, I guess, more recently, maybe depression. Anyways, my point is, last January, which is crazy to think it's already been a year almost. Is it me, or did COVID kind of like put us in a time vortex? But last January, I went through a really crazy run-in with anxiety and intrusive thoughts, and it was just a freaking whirlwind, man. Let me just put it that way. It was horrible. And it was worse than anything I had experienced before, as bad as the times were before. And of course, eventually one day I'll do an episode talking more about my personal story, but that's not for right now. For right now, what I'm trying to say, I guess, is I came out of that. And of course, I'm still, in a sense, coming out of that. I'm still learning to reframe my brain and to rewire things and to not catastrophize and all those things. But I'm definitely not there anymore. I'm definitely in such a better place. And it was different from the other times when I had kind of come out of a rough patch or a season of mental health struggles, I guess you could say. And I just felt kind of like this obligation or this calling or whatever you want to call it within me. I felt kind of like God was putting it on my heart that I needed to do something. I couldn't just walk away and be okay, or I could be okay, but I couldn't just, I didn't want to just go about my day and forget the people who are still going through issues with their mental health, who maybe don't talk about these things or feel like they can't talk to someone, or that it's stigmatized, or there's no resources, or they don't have the money for therapy. I wanted to do something. I feel led in my heart to do something. And so basically, if you get anything out of this intro, I'd like it to be that I want to try and make this podcast a resource for people. I want this to be full of different guests who have their own YouTube channels and books and publications that are helpful. I want to add in links to videos that have helped me, and mention resources and tools and things that have helped me on my walk and helped me get so much more stable, and then comes in the Christ aspect of it all too. So I know that maybe this isn't your personal experience. Also, if you hear a weird noise in the background, there's a train right behind my apartment. We're just going to let that be. But anyways, there it goes. I don't know if the mic is actually picking this up, but anyways, this might not be the case for you, but in a lot of churches, there's kind of this pressure to be super happy, super, everything's okay, I'm fine, you're fine, we're in church, I'm a Christian, I have to be happy, like I have to be well. And we don't talk about that, we don't talk about that, because if you are, and some take it a step further and say, if you are experiencing depression, then you're sinning. Like, what's wrong with you? Why are you experiencing these struggles? That must mean that you are in the wrong somehow. And I just want to let anyone know who may have ever been told that. And if you've been told that, my heart goes out to you so strongly, because that's not true. That is not the case. And you are a human being. And I think that's the whole point of Christianity, is we are flawed and broken individuals. And we shouldn't have to act like everything's fine. And also, again, sometimes in church, at least I love my parents, but growing up, like, they were very anti-therapy, they thought you'd get brainwashed and, all this crazy nonsense thrown at you and leading you astray. So, I'm hoping with this podcast that we can kind of create a discussion, and create more awareness and let people know it's okay to go to therapy. Of course, do your research and your background on the therapist or whatever, but it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay, like, you're not broken, or you're not this horrible person if you're feeling these feelings of anxiety or depression or OCD or what have you. And that it's good to talk about these things, because it's crazy. Like, the second you tell someone about these things, I kid you not, I'm not going to lie and act like the problems go away entirely, but man, it can be a huge turning point for you just to open your mouth and just tell someone. Okay, I have notes here. Let me see. So I've experienced my own mental health struggles and trials and tribulations and whatnot. And I want this to be a resource for people where they can be like, oh, this book helped her, or, oh man, this therapist was on and they have this YouTube channel is awesome. And, I want people to be like, I want to be like a gateway drug for podcasting and for resources, basically. Probably not the best example, sorry. And yeah, I just want to, like, get rid of these freaking mental health stigmas, that make people feel less than, or feel like an outsider, or feel like this is their forever now and they're just this broken thing that's just stuck like this, because that's not the case. I promise you, that's not the case. And then, of course, kind of being able to change some mindsets and help spread awareness that meditation can actually be really good. I was raised to think meditation was demonic, and sorry, I was raised to think it's demonic and horrible, and just a different kind of religion, and opening up yourself to all these spirits and stuff. But, like, through my own research and my own walk, meditation is really scientifically based, and it's just about being present, and it's about focusing on your breathing and quieting your mind, not emptying it or opening it up for who knows what to come in, but it's just about pausing and contemplating and focusing on your breath. And I think we need that more than ever with all the social media and TV and binge watching and billboards everywhere, and the C word, which I don't even want to say because I know we're all sick of it. So, you know what I'm saying? So there's positives to it. There's positives. But yeah, and I have a bunch of pre-recorded episodes ready, locked, and loaded. And I just hope you stick around to see how this unfolds. And I really hope that this can be a help to you. And I just hope that when you listen to this, or when you hear me talking right now, you can know that, I genuinely care and you aren't alone. And if you're in the thick of it right now, I promise you, like, it's a lie that feels believable in your head, that you're like this forever and there's no way out, but that's not the truth. And if you are someone who is just on the mends and kind of walking out of the woods, that's incredible. And I hope this can be something that helps catapult that and helps fuel you. And if you're just someone who's just interested in mental health, or just your mindfulness techniques and personal development, that is something I'm so big in, is personal development, and that is definitely something we will be covering on this show. So yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. No need for me to try and drag it out more. I've said basically what I need to say, and I'll be uploading weekly, once a week on Tuesdays, and that will be on pretty much all podcast platforms, including YouTube. And of course, I gotta say it, I am not a therapist, nor do I claim to be one, and this should never take the place of actual therapy. Thank you for tuning on. Subscribe, I guess. Can you subscribe on podcasts? I guess you can. Yeah. So subscribe. And we'll keep hanging out and talking and growing together. And yeah. And feel free to email me or comment below if there's any topics that you would like to hear me go over. And yeah, I will try to interact the best that I can and cover different topics that anyone who is listening would be interested in hearing. So thank you and have a good day.